Hey, wake up. Hey, wake up.
Side by side, 2 by 2. These guys are getting it done right now, James.
This is starting the ball game.
Weird ain't even a word for that, Andy. I mean, I went ahead and I looked at it after the race, and I must say that is probably the most unfortunate way to have a 5-win streak to come to an end there. But the circumstances were just completely unavoidable, and unfortunately, sometimes luck just can be a very, very mean lady sometimes. So unfortunately, that's how it fell for Brockwell, but he's still having one great season.
Oh, he absolutely is. I think nobody could hear me right there for that little intro, so I'm still new at it. I'm doing all the producing and stuff, so you guys will have to bear with me again. Only my second time at it, but yeah, Brian Terry's joining me tonight. Matt's on a little bit of a leave there. He took the night off. He's out with his wife celebrating their 1-year anniversary, so congratulations to him and his wife. I feel sorry for her. Anyway, we'll talk about the Brockwell streak there coming to an end in Chicago. Some finally, I guess if you want to call it, some bad racing luck for him, like you were saying. Finally hit him there right at the end. So we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about the Nationwide Series and Brockwell back to victory lane there at Kansas. A place where he won a few weeks ago in the trucks too. So I think he's taken a liking to that track here so far at NoBull. And the Cup Series, of course, goes to Kansas for the first time tomorrow night. That should be fun to see those high-powered cars, Brian, at that track. When the Highline's the preferred line, and we know that these things are very sensitive on the throttle.
Oh yeah, the Gen 6 is one mean machine, to say the least. You really have to control the throttle on them, or else it'll just snap really loose off of you. for when you're coming off of these turns because, like you said, these things have a lot of horsepower and a lot more than a Gen 5 and a lot harder to control coming off of these corners.
Absolutely, but we got a couple of programming things tonight. There is no late model race again this week. Not the same reason as last week. Last week, Ben had some family issues he had to take care of. That's why last week didn't. But this week, we have a special event coming on tonight. The Pinky Swear 97 for Aeroloose Racing. That's going to be coming on live right here on NoBull Network 1 right after the radio show. So hopefully you guys tune into that. Ben and myself will be in the booth. Carl Brown will be doing the production there. But one of the regular season races, but it's to commemorate a young lady. I believe she was 13 years old and lost her life way too early due to a food allergy. So kind of a, I'm not going to say a weird thing, but just something you tend to not hear about too often, and unfortunate for that. So obviously everyone here at the network, our thoughts and prayers are with that family, but we'll be doing that race to commemorate her life and all that right after this show. So immediately following, we'll go live, probably I want to say about 10 to 10 before that. And their race actually is at Kansas too, so I think we're getting our fill for Kansas. I think that track's paid for itself for us, Brian.
Yeah, it definitely has. I mean, we've been seeing some really awesome racing no matter what series you've been in for that track, and I'm really looking forward to more racing on that track from races to come, because I've done well so far in every series that I've been in so far here at NoBull and over at West Pro.
Yeah, it's a fun track to run. It's just it's getting used to riding up along the wall there, and you definitely got to be on for every single lap. Well, let's dive right into this here tonight. We're going to talk some Grand Nationals. Those vehicles were at Bristol, Brian, and that's not man, that was a tough little race.
Actually, that was 2 weeks ago, Andy. I think last race there was actually
Rockingham.
And even then, yes, it was still quite of a bit of a, I don't even know how to describe it considering the circumstances for that race, but it was fun when the racing was on, but for the most part, unfortunately, we did have quite a few number of cautions.
Yeah, number of cautions was probably an understatement. You did yourself well as staying out of trouble, able to get yourself a sixth-place finish there, maintain your points lead over David Forts, who finished third. 21 points. You got 2 races left to go, Brian, and I don't like to give the jinx, but you're doing a heck of a job there. It looks like a two-horse race here in the last 2 races between you and David. I think Carl and Dylan, those guys are definitely way too far out.
Yeah, as it stands right now, just ran over the numbers before we even went live here, and statistically they're out of the running here on, unless some unfortunate circumstance just forces me to not even show up for the race, in which for the foreseeable future I don't see happening. But Forrest has done an incredible job on making up some ground over these last couple of races, but all it takes for me is just to have one more good finish, and when we finish up at Charlotte 1 week from Sunday, excuse me, if I'm able to at least finish Atlanta there, finish strong, I'll be able to clinch this championship.
That'll be a nice championship for you too. First one for you in the whole NoBull umbrella. I consider the Grand National kind of a NoBull series too, even though it's ran by the West Pro Series. So that's a good thing for you, and then plus you get a pretty cool prize.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing the prize, but I can't say I'm really looking forward to it with 100% certainty, because until we find out what happens at Atlanta this coming Sunday, I can't put all my eggs in one basket just yet.
Well, I hear you, and I'm not going to say anything because it seems that us guys here at the network have a jinx that we end up putting on people whenever we start talking about them. And that being said, I'll leave that part alone on this. But yeah, we had 11 cautions, 40 laps at Rockingham. Man, that's a lot. 80-lap race, and half of it was ran under caution.
Indeed, and not going to name any names, but we also had a few problems with a couple of the drivers in there as well. And unfortunately for the admins for the West Pro Series, they ended up having to hand out a couple of suspensions, not only during the race but after the race. But hopefully from here on out we'll have much better racing, considering the two tracks we're going to, 1.5 mile ovals, pretty wide 1.5 mile ovals, so the racing should be good from here on out.
One can only hope, but like you said, Atlanta next week, so looking forward to that. I've been enjoying. At the beginning of the season, I wasn't going to run too many races in this, and I find myself actually enjoying myself and getting the extra seat time, which is definitely much needed on my end. So, and it's worked. I've worked myself up to a couple top 10s and 8th in the points, so obviously way out of contention for anything. However, definitely having a lot of fun, and maybe I don't think I'll be getting bumped up here anytime soon, so I might be able to get a run that series again next season.
Yes. Seat time is never a bad thing, Andy.
Nope, and that's one thing I need. We'll let you get that phone there, but we're going to move on here a little bit. We're going to talk some truck series racing. Some trucks went on last night at Chicagoland Speedway. Another first-time winner at NoBull. It was Elliott Davis, and it's awesome to see because I think between these last two seasons, we've just saw so many people finally get that first win, and Brian, you were one of them this season in the trucks, and it's good to see these guys getting his first win. But for many guys, it's maybe it's their last. You don't even know. So Elliott Davis did a heck of a job, ran up front the majority of that race. Was definitely there at the end to cash in on the unfortunate issues that Dylan Brockwell ran into there with the lap down car that had some issues. I guess a brake failure or something is what they're saying with that 41 car.
Yeah, like I said, watching the replay after that was just a completely unfortunate incident to take out Brockwell there. And I guess I could say it was an unfortunate incident for me on pit road as well, because I was also up there leading a couple of laps for this race. Not so many, but I was definitely a contender for the win, but a late mistake on pit road ended up costing me quite a number of positions, but still able to bring it home fourth, which was pretty happy for me.
Oh, fourth's definitely a good run. You got yourself an interview too, because we couldn't find Elliott Davis after the race, so we couldn't even interview the winner. I kind of skipped out through victory lane real quick and got out of there, and that was about it. So we didn't get to talk to him, but you got yourself a little bit of airtime for your sponsors and things, so that's good. But I want to talk about a couple guys here really impressing me as far as the season they're having. One of them is Doljan Boldrin, the gentleman from Brazil, I believe he's from. Yes. Hopefully he's going to be here tonight when I invite him onto the show here. Hopefully he shows up and we can get him on here, get a nice little interview with him. But he's having a heck of a season here. Started off the season kind of slow, kind of minding his own business, trying to get a feel for everything. But now as the season's closing into the end with only 2 weeks to go, he's been I fill out these things every week with the standings and where guys finish and stuff, and I'll tell you right now, I'm writing his name an awful lot, and definitely take notice that way.
Yeah, I've taken notice as well with a lot of the rookies from the season here in the trucks. A lot of them have been running very well, and they've been running very, very cleanly. So, and it's always good to have new faces around the league that run like that. This way you know how to race them, and you're able to race them cleanly, and it makes for good racing to watch.
Well, it definitely does, and I think we've had some great broadcasts this season, too, with the trucks. The trucks never seem to disappoint. We tend to have some very good races with the trucks. Sometimes a couple extra cautions than we really need, maybe. But overall, I think the trucks are probably some of the most competitive, and we've been averaging over 25 trucks a race. That is pretty damn good if you ask me. So these guys doing a great job all season long. Trevor Smith, rookie, right there. Looking at last season, we had a rookie, James Ray, come in and stomp everybody and win the truck series title, and we got another rookie this season here trying to do the same, Trevor Smith, and he came with Kevin Ford and Kevin Carr and all those guys, and three of them are in the top 10 in points, so these guys definitely making a name for themselves. And of course Kevin won the season opener at Daytona, so all three of these guys that you see in the top 10 right now, between Smith, Ford, and Carr, they more rookies here at NoBull and getting the job done. And you just look at the whole top 10, and you know, half of them are rookies, and you gotta like what you see there.
Absolutely. I mean, I sat down and I talked to Kevin Ford after the race, and what a very humbling gentleman he is. During the race, he and I were running side by side together, and we gave each other plenty of room. And just to have that much respect between a rookie and a veteran driver, it just shows how humbling it is on his part to have him in our league, and I, for one,
Hey, wake up.
want to extend an extended welcome to him, and I hope to see him continue to have continued success here at NoBull, and hope to see him continue to run alongside us from seasons to come.
Hey, wake up.
Absolutely, and I don't know. You know, a lot of these guys like Trevor, this might be his only season, like James Ray in the truck series. You know, a guy like that, very consistent, running well. You know, he's going to get a shot here to run some nationwide, run some possible cup races here too in the near future. So guys like that, you know, a lot of these guys making a name for themselves in the trucks, but it could be a one and done type of series for them. And you know, next thing you know, they're moving on up, which isn't a bad thing. And you might as well. You might as well win the championship if you're going to get moved up. That's one way to do it, and get everything done at the same time. So far, so good. All these guys in the truck. 2 races to go. I'm liking everything that I see with this series. It's just last year. I don't know. I guess I'm used to last season being like, I think it was like 13 races or something like that, and now this season only 10.
Yeah, last season for the trucks for us was, I believe it was 12 races. Sure, we ended up shortening the season up just a little bit, but for the most part, everybody's been making every race count and making every race enjoyable to watch and enjoyable to be in.
Absolutely, and it doesn't, you know, it makes each race and each thing that much more valuable. Every point counts. You don't have necessarily a mulligan to give, and otherwise you're not going to be up there in that top 3 or so looking for the championship. But Trevor Smith holding a 41-point lead as next week we go to Charlotte, and the season closes out at Homestead. So 2 races to get it done, and Duljan Boldrin, I know I'm butchering that name, what a mouthful that is, but he's there, 41 points, it's a lot, and I don't know, barring a miracle, I would imagine he'll be able to catch Trevor Smith here, especially the way Trevor's been running and how consistent he has been all season long.
Yes, sir, and that's another driver in which I haven't had the chance to really sit down and even talk to him just yet, but just watching him race and seeing him run consistently has been a great pleasure because, again, a rookie to the series, rookie here at NoBull, and able to consistently run not just good lap times, but good finishes each and every race. It will pay dividends in the future.
Absolutely will. Well, I see Neff's calling Carl evil Carl Knievel or something. So that's a funny one right there. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he likes to beat it off the wall, and I think he hit the wall 12 times at Kansas a couple weeks ago. So, but he maintained it and got a decent finish out of it. But no, Carl's hanging tough there, and and you just look how close these points are. Right now you could be sitting 8th like Kevin Carr, and after next week's race with a great race, you could be 2nd in points. I mean, that's how close these guys are, besides Trevor out there hanging out by himself.
Yeah, barring something catastrophic happening to Trevor, the points battle is really just shaping up to be a one horse race for now. But watching from second all the way on down to seventh there, just looking to see how tight these points are, it's absolutely amazing just to even watch these guys just go at it from week to week. And for me, I'm honored to actually still be racing in this series. Wasn't unfortunately able to go into the Cup Series for this season, but I'm having one great season myself with the trucks. I consistently ran in the top 10 each and every race, but like I said, second on down to seventh, such a tight battle, and who knows who's going to end up where at the end of the season.
Yeah, and a lot riding on it too, obviously, with the prizes for first, second, and third place. So Jade Williams took a little bit of hit last week there, last night with the wreck. Ended up having to retire early from the race. So he took a little bit of a hit there, but just brings him a little bit more in the grasp for those guys sitting fourth, fifth, and sixth. So we'll have to see next week as the trucks hit to Charlotte. But right now we're going to take let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll talk some nationwide. We'll talk some Cup Series racing, but we'll do all that when we come back right after these fabulous words from our sponsors.
Eye safety tip of the week. Did you know that 90% of eye injuries can be avoided simply by wearing the proper ANSI-approved eyewear? More than 1 million Americans have lost some degree of sight due to eye injury. That's a risk that I'm just not willing to take. Go to wileyx.com to find a dealer near you and to learn more about the first premium performance sunglass company whose entire product line meets occupational safety standards. That's WILEYX.com. Wiley X. Safety never looked so cool.
I felt it all at the hall, where it's a cool 33 degrees.
We experienced it all at the hall, where my son became the fastest man ever.
I relived it all at the hall, where my grandson asked me, "Did you really do all that?"
Experience high-octane fun during NASCAR Hall of Fame's Cure for the Common Summer, presented by Coca-Cola.
Did your little storm knock out the power? Well, excuse me for not noticing.
Hate to disappoint you, old man Winter. Better luck next time.
If the power goes out, your Generac standby generator goes on, automatically.
Down trees? Flash floods? Is that all you've got?
Stand up to the threat of outages with Generac and never feel powerless.
Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, Green Sally down, last done start, gotta
Welcome back, everybody, to NoBull Radio. I'm Andy Kessler. Joining me tonight, Brian Terry. He just heard me say that whole thing already, but nobody could hear me out in La La Land. So, anyway, welcome back here to the wonderful radio show. Tonight we just talked about the Grand National Series. 2 races left in that season. We got the trucks with 2 races left. Brian, but now we're moving on a little bit in here to the Nationwide. The Nationwide had a pretty good race. It saw caution right at the end there, but Dylan Brockwell back to victory lane. He didn't spend much time out of there.
Yeah, Dylan, he's a one-man wrecking crew being under Dave Washington here. I mean, he's sweeping up both of these series really well, and as it stands right now, if he was running for points, he'd be running second behind me, only because he missed 1 race. But for the most part, he's been sweeping up just about every series he's been in, and he's just running consistently well. He really thinks, and he really thanks, I should say, Dave Washington to a lot of his success, but most of it, you got to put it on the kid himself. I mean, he's just done a fantastic job week in and week out.
Oh, he has. He definitely has, and I'm not taking nothing away from him. I was looking up all his stats and stuff, getting ready for last night before the broadcast. Not that I was in the broadcast, but just trying to go through some stuff so I knew what I was talking about whenever I talked, which is a lot of times. But he has 10 wins, career wins at NoBull. 8 of them coming this season. 4 in the trucks, 4 in the Nationwide. So he did get 2 back in, I call it the old days, because difference from RPM and the Dan Lisa. But so last season he got 2 wins. He's done well. He was fast before, but I looked at his finishes, and they were very inconsistent. He'd be up front one week, the next week he'd finish in the 20s, and that type of thing will not win you championships, and that's exactly the issue for a lot of people. But I think the key, or the thing that Dave has brought him is the ability to calm down, to know when to go, to know when to drive hard, when to relax, when to ride behind somebody and just, log some laps, stay out of trouble. I think that part of it, along with his already natural ability as far as speed, has just made him that much more dangerous, and he's getting it done. He's obviously not getting it done in the trucks for points, but wins-wise he is. But here he is, leads the Nationwide Series with 3 races left to go in their season, and a 22-point lead. Nothing like the guys in the truck have as far as a points lead, but 22 points is still 22 positions on the track. So Dylan Brockwell still has work to do, but the way he's been going right now, man, the kid's on a roll. He's going to be real, real tough to beat in anything he steps in.
Absolutely, Andy. He is incredibly fast, and just touching back on the truck race last night, one thing that we did not mention for Brockwell up until he actually had that little issue at the end of the race, at one point he was actually 2 laps down. And for him to actually make up both of those laps and come back running up front, it just speaks volumes for him.
It definitely does. I did forget to mention that. It was on the brain. I just totally forgot about it. But yeah, came into the race, missed all practice, had to start in the back. Qualified, I think, 3rd or whatever. But he had to come in all the way in the back, start back there, got caught up in that first wreck that was caused by the 84 truck, whoever that is. And, oh wait, that's me.
No names?
Yeah, no names mentioned, but yeah, no, I don't know what the heck happened to me. That thing wouldn't turn, but, yeah, he got caught up in a little bit of damage, was able to come in and get fixed, but man, and this is what I'm talking about is, most people would get all like, oh my God, I'm out of it now, I'm 2 laps down, and because I mean, he was down a lap because he had to, when he started, because I was in the team speaker room with him, when we started the race, he got caught, or for whatever reason, he's going to the back, he didn't start in the right lane or something. It gave him a black flag under green conditions. The problem was the caution came out right away, but he still had to serve the penalty. So once the green flag flew that second time, he went in, served his penalty, but on his way down, he was speeding. He got caught speeding, so he had to sit there for, I think it was 30 seconds, he said. And they held him for 30 seconds. That's how we became 2 laps down. So most people would go, oh, man, my race is over, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And you were actually in there, too. And just Dave's calm demeanor and just, you know what, relax. No big deal. We'll work on it. Plenty of time. You know, just very soothing, whatever. And look what happened. There he was. Got his 2 laps back. Drove his way through the pack. And was up front leading a bunch of laps and was there at the end. And, I mean, it was going to be a dogfight no matter what. I'm not going to say he would have won that race if he didn't get into the 41. But I think it was the top 4 were just so close to each other. And it was turning out to going to be an epic finish.
It really was up until that little incident there. But let's go back to the Nationwide Series here where Brockwell, I mean, pretty much dominated the race. He was up front the entire time.
Yeah, led 86 laps.
And really not everybody had a chance to go after him. I fortunately was able to bring it home second, but third place finisher Ben Nile, oh my goodness. He on the last restart for that race, he restarted 9th, and he ended up running me down, but he was not able to pass me. But I got to give him props for racing me cleanly and doing just a fantastic job just of bringing home third there. He put in a lot of hours there, and it really showed.
Yeah, a lot of people will sit there and say, you know, I don't need practice, whatever. But you know what? It does make a difference. The more laps you can run, the more seat time. You get comfortable, familiar with the track. It's definitely a lot different than, you know, when you have cars around you and the traffic around you. That's the problem I'm having at this point, because I could knock off some good laps and be decent fast and know my line. But then once you get to all the other vehicles in the way, they're just in my way. So you can't run a race by yourself.
Indeed, you can't.
No, you can't. But you know, I look at his stats. I mean, the kid, Nationwide Series, 7 starts, of course. He's got the 1 pole, but 4 wins, 6 top 10s, 5 of those are top 5s. I mean, that's phenomenal. I mean, is that a good word for it?
I don't think there is any other word for it. Spectacular, phenomenal.
I mean, the only thing better would be if they were all top 5s and they were all wins. I mean, but other than that, I mean, this is racing. There's plenty of competition out there. So, I mean, that's why he isn't winning every single race, but doing a heck of a job at trying to anyway. Another note with the Nationwide Series is 4th place finisher David Forch, only a second NoBull start, doing a heck of a job. He was running well last week at Watkins Glen for a while, then had some issues, which set him back. Didn't get the finish he wanted, but you know, and then to come back this week, he was around the top 3 pretty much the whole second half of that race. I mean, he was up front the whole time. You had to race with him, especially at the end there too. He's holding his own for a guy that's running our Grand National Series now. I don't think it's going to be long. You're going to see him up here in trucks nationwide pretty quick.
Yeah, David is a very good, clean racer as well, for the most part. I could say I have a couple of issues with him, only because of the fact that we're having such a spectacular competition in the Competition Diecast Series, but he did a fantastic job at Kansas in the Nationwide, and he's done a spectacular job in the short time he's actually been in the Nationwide Series. Like you said, he had that one unfortunate incident at Watkins Glen that ruined his finish, but he's doing a really good job so far in making a name for himself to at least put himself on the radar for these team owners to possibly pick him up for a contract for the start of next season.
Oh, absolutely. He's definitely doing that, getting it done. He wants. He told me he wants a sponsor for his car. I said, "Why don't you just put some on the hood?" He goes, "No, I need one." He goes, "I got to get that. We got to pay an entry fee." And I said, "Yeah, it's $5." And he says to me, "Yeah, I'm really cheap." Okay, so
Wow.
well, whatever. Teach their own. But maybe we'll get maybe the Network One will get a car in there for him, but get something on the hood for him. But no, he's doing a great job so far. We'll see how he does. I think he's definitely a fit in the Nationwide Series. He can run up front with all you guys, hang tough. He was hanging tough with Dylan for a while there. Just one thing about Kansas is that high line is the way to go, and if you got a guy up there, besides running them out of the way, there's really, it's almost impossible to get around them unless they hit the wall or something.
For a technical track like Kansas, you really have to have a lot of faith in not just the drivers around you, but a lot of faith in yourself, because you're running inches away from the wall at very high speeds, and all it takes is for you to lose focus for just a microsecond, and you could find yourself spinning down into the infield and wrecking yourself out there. But I also want to give a quick shout out to our 5th place finisher for this race, Jay Adair. A big welcome back for him, and for him to finish in the top 5 there, basically picking up where he left off at the end of last season in the Nationwide Series. For him to come in and finish 5th place on a track that, as he said even before the race, that never raced on it before, didn't even have any kind of practice aside from the practice before the race had started last night. For him to bring it home 5th was an incredible achievement, and for him to take such a long break from us here at NoBull and come back and finish 5th, it also speaks volumes for him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously didn't miss a beat. Good to have him back, because he was definitely a contender last season, running up front, battling for the championship there in the Nationwide till he had to leave unexpectedly. So, with that said, great job by Sean Medley, TJ Woodward, a couple Mobile 1 guys. I got to give them a shout, obviously, but good job for those guys running their top 10. Sean Medley, of course, sitting there 9th in points, so glad to see him having a decent season this year, and we'll see what happens as the future goes on. But Nationwide Series getting ready to, I guess the last stretch of their season. Still 3 weeks, obviously, left to go here for the Nationwide Series. We're getting close to being about time. We got to get out of here tonight. Reminder, there is no late model race. They are not racing tonight. We're going to actually have we're doing a special broadcast to commemorate a little girl, Alexis, I believe it is, with the Pinky Swear 97. The Pinky Swear 97 that will be taking place immediately after the show. We will be going live. Ben Kilcrease, myself, will be in the booth with Carl Brown doing the production. A great job by Carl. Hats off to him for getting all this coordinated and done, and hopefully we can put on a good show for these guys. And that'll be live right here on the network, the exact same page you guys are watching right now, watching this wonderful radio show that I do every week. So Mylan too, I'm getting message now. If I don't mention him, I'll get yelled at. So Mylan will be on pit road. So yeah, we got a whole crew, 4 of us there at Kansas, getting the job done. And then of course tomorrow night, right here on NoBull Network 1, we have the RSeat.net Sprint Cup Series, getting it done at Kansas as well. Mylan's still laughing, but great. Looking forward to it. We're gonna have a great time tonight, getting that broadcast done. 97 laps there for the Aero Loose is the league here in iRacing, and glad to do that for them and have a nice for a good cause, for a good remembrance of that young girl who tragically left us way too early. But we're going to take a break here. We'll come back and we'll talk Cup Series racing and wrap up the show. And we'll do all that right after these messages.
Does a real race car have a center post? Of course not, and neither should your race rig. The RSeat Evo V3 with its unique design has no center post. The R-Seat Evo replicates what you would be accustomed to in your daily driver or something you may take to the track. It can accommodate drivers from 4'11" up to over 6'6" tall and is pre-drilled for all of the major wheel manufacturers on the market today. When it comes to performance, look no further than the R-Seat Evo V3. Check out the R-Seat Evo and other sim racing equipment by heading to www.rseat.net.
Hey race fans, it's Carl Edwards, driver of the number 99 Aflac Ford Fusion with your eye safety tip of the week. Did you know that 90% of eye injuries can be avoided simply by wearing the proper ANSI approved eyewear? More than 1 million Americans have lost some degree of sight due to eye injury. That's a risk that I'm just not willing to take. Go to wileyx.com to find a dealer near you and to learn more about the first premium performance sunglass company whose entire product line meets occupational safety standards. That's WILEYX.com. Wiley X. Safety never looked so cool.
I felt it all at the hall, where it's a cool 33 degrees.
We experienced it all at the hall, where my son became the fastest man ever.
I relived it all at the hall, where my grandson asked me, "Did you really do all that?"
Experience high-octane fun during NASCAR Hall of Fame's Cure for the Common Summer, presented by Coca-Cola.
All right, we're back. A little delay there because I forgot to turn the mic on. But anyway, Brian's getting used to hearing me say this twice. Welcome back, everybody, to
That's twice now.
Yeah, that's twice. Go through the whole spiel and then realize the mic's off. But anyway, welcome back, everybody, to the show. Brian Terry joining me here tonight as our guest host. Matt Weisbrot will be back next week, and also will be back tomorrow night as we broadcast the RC.net Sprint Cup Series live from Kansas. Can't wait for that one. And speaking of the Cup Series, Brian, I'm ready for it. Here it comes. I'm putting the clip up now. Guys, bear with me. I'm so slow at this thing, and there's quite a delay just because I'm not familiar with this stuff. But here we go. Eric Dalla-Riva picked up the big win last week at the road course, but man, there was some drama at the end of that one, too, with the 11 car there of Dylan Jones on that last, I believe it's 2 to go, or halfway, almost coming to the white, I believe it was.
Yes, and I mean, I was just sitting there watching the race basically from the blimp, unfortunately, because my driver, Cody Marshall, ended up having an issue early in the race, but just sitting there watching the race from up there in the blimp and watching Dylan Jones just have the issues that he did at the end of the race, it really made for quite a bit of a drama scene towards the end of that race.
Yeah, you know, and I was kind of shocked by that, too, because he had just been so smooth, so consistent all race long. I don't think he had enough fuel to make it to the end anyway. We did see after he wrecked that he actually ran out right after the carousel there, and just he had no speed, no nothing to even make it back to the start-finish line. So he ended up the first car, or the last car in the lead lap or something, but there in 9th place. But yeah, he just, man, it's so unfortunate. He was so smooth, had a pretty good lead over Eric Dalla-Riva, and then just lost it going into the bus stop there and smacked those tires so hard, lost his hood, lost everything, tried to keep going, but wasn't able to get it done, and Eric Dalla-Riva picked up his second career Cup win, and both of them have come at Watkins Glen.
And I can't say how happy I am for Eric because I could say he's been struggling just a little bit here at NoBull, but in the Cup in the Cup Series, especially after the one race that shall remain nameless still, for him to be coasting around for the victory and then to run out of fuel on the backstretch. Unfortunately, I know he's going to kill me for bringing it up, but just to have that unfortunate turn of events to be leading the race, coming to the checkered flag while under caution, and to run out of fuel on the backstretch, he technically should have 3 wins already, and maybe even many more. But it's just that little hump that seems to hold him back. But Eric Dallariva, really good at road course racing, and he came into this race at Watkins Glen last week kind of doubting himself because he was saying how fast Dylan C. Jones and Tyler McEwen were, but I told him, like, if he was able to keep it on the track and just be mindful of how he races the track there, he would come home first, and sure enough, ended up coming down to not just him keeping the wheels underneath him, but fuel mileage as well. He was able to bring it home to victory lane.
Yeah, he was actually. It's his fifth career NoBull win. Only a second Cup win. We all remember the one from the fuel mileage one there at Indy, but I know he tries not to. But that's a tough one to swallow right there. But no, fifth career win. So I mean, he's sitting there right now. I think 6th or 7th right now in the all-time wins list for NoBull. So. He's there. He's getting it done. His talent, I would expect him to have more. He just doesn't have them for not obvious reasons, but for reasons out of his control. He has done a great job. Definitely shown his road course prowess over the seasons here at NoBull. Always up front, always leading laps at the road courses. Tyler McEwen too, also another guy, actually his fellow Canadian. I don't know if they live close, but I know they're both from Canada, and they both of them can get it done on the road courses. And Tyler jumped right out to a lead real quick, right off the start, over Dylan Jones, who had the pole, and didn't look back too far, but he ran into his own issues, getting off track and things like that, but was able to at least get a home second, come up with a decent finish for all the trouble that he had over the race. Another good run, though, was the 25 there, Justin Munsell, coming in third, rookie to NoBull, period, and to throw him into the Cup Series right away. I believe he's been doing a heck of a job and really holding his own there, sitting 9th in the points right now. Pretty comfortable, I'm not going to say secure, but pretty comfortable as far as getting a chase berth here in his first season. But he's been doing well. Not quite getting the finishes maybe he needed or the ones that he quite deserved as far as the way he was running, getting caught up into some issues. But finally was able to put it all together and finish third here last Thursday.
Yeah, another rookie to NoBull doing well and putting his name out there for owners to look into getting into for next season. And so far, I mean, even with a rocky start, only 34 points out from the lead of Dave Washington, who ended up finishing 8th here at the Glen. Still plenty of time to make up the points and still sitting decently well to make the chase for this season. So let's see, we only have 3 more races until we go into the chase, and with him sitting 9th, he's sitting pretty close to the bubble of making the chase, but so far it looks like he will be making it in.
Yeah, so far so good for Justin Munsell. Speaking of the chase with the schedule, you're right, 3 races to go. Kansas tomorrow night, and then we go to Charlotte, and then the big wild card right before the chase starts is Talladega. That's going to be a fun race to watch, fun race to broadcast for us, and hopefully some guys aren't on the bubble and get, or the guys that are on the bubble aren't caught up in anything out of their control there to kind of seal their fate, whether they're going to make it or not. But I can't wait for this chase season either. Last season, the chase 6 races. We saw a great chase, real close all the way through it. This season, only 4 races, though, Brian. There's absolutely no room for error in this season's chase.
Definitely, because 4 races is not a whole lot of time to even can't even make one mistake, let alone a few mistakes. Because if you do, you could pretty much kiss your chances for a championship goodbye, especially with the shortened schedule that we do have for this season.
Shortened schedule, but of course we had our issues at the earlier of the season, or we'd already be just about in the chase here. I think next week would be the first chase race, but hadn't had our issues here early in the season. We still got Richmond. I think been a lot of discussion as far as what to do with that race that we missed with the Richmond race. Not so sure if they're going to add that into the chase, if they're going to add it in right before the chase. It might even be actually an opportunity where we might run 2 races in 1 week for the Sprint Cup Series, just to get that race in, to make sure everybody that you get your chance to get your points in the amount of races you thought you were going to get them. So still some things up in the air. Obviously, we got about 3 weeks or so for them to finalize or figure out what they're going to do with it, as far as where they're going to put that race, at what point they're going to put it in, if we're going to run 2 in 1 week, or if we're just going to extend it another week to the end of the season. But the Cup Series, very close to the point standings. Obviously, leading the points now is basically just a bragging right kind of thing. It doesn't mean anything, because when everything gets reset, those last 4 races, that's when it's going to all mean everything.
Yep, it's just the bragging right now, and even though it may be bragging rights, but it's Dave Washington sitting on top of the podium there, basically looking back at everyone with a 7-point lead. Not whole much that could be really said or done here, but just gotta keep punching at it until you make the chase, and from there, that's when the real racing's going to begin.
Nope, that's exactly what it is when it really begins. I'm glad to see Dylan Jones so far making every single race this season. Was unable to make them last season. Otherwise, I believe he would have been a chase contender and possible championship contender last season. Very fast on the track. Teamed up there with Mitch Lennon for that RC.net team, and which was good to see. So Dylan Jones definitely fast. Definitely could... maybe a little good luck going his way, and you're going to see him back in victory lane here in no time at all. But so that's tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, the Cup Series at Kansas. Can't wait for that. That's going to be a fun time. I've been so Kansas out, I think. Just the amount of times I've been there between the West Pro and this. I believe that track is paid for itself by now, and hopefully after tomorrow night's race, I won't have to look at or bring that track up here for a while. That I think won't be a bad thing.
No, I think it will be a bad thing, because I've taken a special liking to Kansas so far this season, and I do intend on running that race tomorrow night in the Cup Series.
Yeah, but we can't run that every week on the schedule, so got to take a break sometime from it.
I wish we didn't have to, but I'm really looking forward to it next season, and hopefully be able to bring home a victory there, because I've taken quite a liking to that track. I just need to put it all together there, and hopefully I can do it tomorrow night in the Cup Series, because so far with the trucks finished 3rd, nationwide I finished 2nd. It seems only fitting to
gotta win this thing.
Win the Cup Series race tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's a good thing Dave's not in here. He'd probably be laughing at you. But I wish you luck. I bet you'll be up front anyway. Like you said, you've definitely gotten a hang of that track here pretty quickly over the last few weeks. And, good luck to you tomorrow night. And good to see you back in a Cup car. And that'll be fun to watch. And hope everybody tunes in tomorrow night live here on NoBull Network 1 for the broadcast. Make sure you guys head over to the website, NoBullNetwork1.com. Check it out. There's a lot of cool new things going on. Some new videos. going on. There's actually a sneak peek if you want in the upper right-hand corner of the website. It's going to say, I think it says preview now or something. I don't know. It says in progress. That's what it said. I had to look it up here. It says in progress. If you actually click that link there, in progress, it's going to show you our new layout for the live page, which actually you'll see right now. You'll be seeing exactly what you were seeing on the regular live page go up because it's already working, but we're just trying to fine-tune it and get this thing going because that's going to be a lot of fun to watch with that cool little studio. So check out the website. There's a lot of cool things, a lot of new things, the NASCAR blog, all kinds of stuff. Just constantly updating, constantly trying to make the thing different, keep it fresh, keep things new, and hopefully you guys like it. And I can tell if you go and look at the pages, so if nobody goes and looks, it gets deleted, and I start over and figure something else out.
Well, I, for one, Andy, I've really enjoyed what you have been doing to the place. I mean, the studio looks fantastic. The editorials are fun to read, and I continue to just be amazed by you on how much work you're putting in and how great everything is looking. So you should keep up the fantastic work.
Well, I appreciate that. I wish my wife appreciated my work, but she says I'm not getting paid for it, which I'm not, but you know what, I enjoy it, so that's why I do it, and when I stop enjoying it, you'll stop getting the updates, and you guys will know firsthand right there, but so far so good for me, and I'm enjoying every single bit of it. Happy to be here, even on the radio shows, but again, tonight, guys, we're going to call it a night here. Brian, I thank you once again, kind of last minute coming in here, joining me, co-host, and again, a fabulous job. What's this, 2 or 3 times now you've done it?
This is my second time, I believe. I've been on the radio show as an interview before, but to help co-host, this is my second time. But
it seems like you've been here forever.
I have been here at NoBull forever. It's just I haven't really made myself be known all that much. But I think this season I've put myself out there, and it's starting to show. But thank you so much for having me on here tonight. It has been a blast. And also, it's Hump Day!
That's right, I forgot. Hump Day! But anyway, I didn't have, I'm doing all the producing tonight, so I don't have all that stuff like at my fingertips like Matt always did. I hope you guys could enjoy the show, bared with me there with all the little minor delays and all the switching of the views and all that stuff like that. Still learning this stuff, but having fun doing it. I actually like it. I know what I'm doing and what I'm clicking on and what I'm going to, so that makes it kind of neat, but I forget to turn the microphone on and, end up talking to Brian by himself, and, so, but anyway, that being said, hopefully, immediately in about 10-15 minutes, I'm going to go off air right now. Here at I'm sitting here right now in Kansas in the media center, just waiting to get the show on the road here in about 15-20 minutes or so. But we're going to go live broadcast Aero Loose's race, the Pinky Swear 97 at Kansas Motor Speedway. Looking forward to it. Ben, myself, Carl doing the producing. Mylan Lacey's going to be on pit road. We got the whole crew here at Kansas Speedway. We're going to get it all done. And, of course, tomorrow night we'll be right here again at Kansas, right here on NoBull Network 1 for the RSeat.net Sprint Cup Series. But, again, I want to thank Brian Terry for coming by. I want to thank Andy, myself, for doing the producing. No, give myself a pat on the back. That's about all I'm going to get. But definitely, I thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. And remember, in a few minutes, right back here, same place, same time. Not same time. What am I thinking? Same place, same channel. We're going to be live at Kansas Speedway with the Pinky Swear 97 for Aero Loose Racing. But for Brian Terry, I'm Andy Kessler. I'm going to leave you guys with our another video that you'll see on the thing. I played it once before, but it's a fitting way to end the show. So thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you all next week right here on NoBull Radio.
Take care.
Green Sally up, green Sally down, left on start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, green Sally down, left on start, gotta tell the ground.